There's a problem that us parents need to talk about today, and it's going on in all our homes. It's something we all have a niggling guilt about, but prefer not to think about too closely. Thing is, we could put a stop to it right now. It's to do with our obsession with our phones. If we're too busy scrolling through Instagram to notice our children, we shouldn't be surprised when they eventually turn to TikTok instead of us. It's not rocket science. Studies tell us that our kids copy us closely, and if we're glued to our phones, well, they will be too. The worry isn't just about passing on an addiction to screen time, it's also about what we're teaching them about relationships. So how do we balance modern life with being present parents? We've all been there, juggling work emails, social media, and parenting. But when we're glued to our phones, our kids feel like they're competing for our attention. And over time, they might start to turn to screens for the connection that they're not getting from us. And we wonder why kids are so addicted to screens these days. Can you think of a time when your toddler was being particularly challenging and you turned to your phone as an avoidance mechanism? Instead of addressing the behaviour head-on, it's sometimes easier just to ignore it, especially when we're exhausted after a long day. Our phones don't argue with us, and we can scroll away whenever we want. A toddler is quite different. But reluctant parenting, by diverting attention away from your child when they need it most, is a poor strategy in the long run. Don't get me wrong, I'm on my phone a lot as I run my business online. But if your kids feel less important than the latest tweet or Facebook post, we've got a serious problem. The real question is, what are the long-term consequences of this? Research shows that when we're focused on our phones, our kids pick up on it, and not in a good way. The brutal truth is that kids are turning to screens because parents can't be bothered to engage or don't make time to. This can start at a really young age, before 4 years old. They need us to talk and engage with them and show them that they're more important than what's on our screen. If they don't get that, they'll start to seek validation elsewhere, often from their own screens. A recent study has shown that when young kids don't get enough real interaction, it affects their language development and their ability to form healthy relationships. We're talking about long-term impacts here, not just picking up temporary bad habits. Basically, kids learn that they're not worth your time and are less important than the strangers on your phone. Plus, they might be slow to reach their communication and language milestones. If kids are learning to find comfort in a screen, they might struggle to form real connections later in life. We already know how damaging social media can be for self-esteem and mental health. Do we really want our kids to grow up thinking that validation only comes from a screen? A whole generation now thinks their self-worth is tied to how many likes they get. Honestly, this partly comes from the way they were parented. Poor leadership, a lack of nurturing, and absent guidance from their mum and dad leaves a gaping hole that will readily be filled by an Instagram influencer. Undeniably, forming secure attachments with your children at a young age is crucial for their development. Their brain forms more neural connections, they learn how to manage their emotions effectively, develop empathy, and have a stronger sense of self. Our job as parents is to create resilient, confident, future-ready adults, so forming strong bonds with them in infancy sets them up for this, and reduces the risk of mental health and anxiety problems later in life. You might be interested to know that secure attachments actually have been shown to lead to improved performance academically as well. Now, I'm not saying that we need to throw our phones in the bin and go off-grid. Realistically, we all have jobs, businesses, and lives that are connected to our devices. But we can be intentional about how and when we use them. If we set boundaries like screen-free dinners or focused playtime and make time for actual conversations, we can model healthy habits. Your kids need to know they're more important than your phone. If you want a few more ideas of how to manage screen time in your home, download your free family media plan in the description. As well as the practical solutions, try to be more present with your children. They have to learn that when mummy says she's busy, then they need to entertain themselves for a bit. But actively choosing to make time to meaningfully engage with your child when they want to talk to you will make your relationship much stronger and mutually respectful at any age. And when they're older, they will seek you out as their comfort and confidant, not an AI machine or stranger on the internet. Just remember, you never get this time back. Social media trends and cat videos come and go. You've got little kids for 4 years. Don't miss it. You will regret it. But this is the tip of the iceberg. If you feel ready to focus more on your child's cognitive development, check out my video here, where I talk more about the impact of too much screen time on your child and some simple strategies to manage it.